Hey guys, so since it's getting dusk time, I'm going to show you guys how to adjust your headlights. And just real quick, wanted to cover a couple of reasons why you would need to adjust your headlights. For me, the reason I need to adjust my headlights is because I added some extra weight on the back of my Jeep because I do need new springs. It raised up the front of my Jeep. So let me hop around to the back and I'll show you what I mean. So what had happened was I threw this tire carrier on and then went from a 33-inch tire to a 35, and then also threw on my high lift jack. So by adding all of this stuff, and then also when I added my sub box and different stuff like that, I added about 175 to 200 pounds on the back end of my Jeep. And because I need the new springs, that caused my whole back end to drop. And when your back end drops, your front end lifts. So that's why I'm gonna be adjusting my headlights. On the JKs, they make it a little easier for us to adjust our headlights. I don't know if you can see these two notches. There's one here, and then there's one here. And those are where your adjustment screws to adjust your vertical and horizontal on your headlights. So, see if I can get in there, and if you can see it, tucked way back in here is the adjustment screw. Makes it a little easier to see there. And then here is the other one, and that one's a little easier to see. These are size T15 Torx head. If you have a driver skinny enough to get in there, then you don't need to remove your grill. Unfortunately, I don't, so I'm actually going to pull my grill off to access those, just so that I'm not rubbing and scraping paint. So just real quick, if you do need to pull your grill off on the JK, there are 6 of these pins down through here, and that's all that you need to pop off. And then on the JK, you also need to unhook your signal indicators down here, which is just this bracket right behind it that you can get to fairly easy. So here, now that I have my grill off, you can see these screws a heck of a lot better. So there's one here, and then the one here. Same on that side, the lower one to the inside, and then the upper one to the outside. Make sure that you have a 25-foot run, and 25 foot from your surface that you're shining your headlights on and your headlights. Unfortunately, because of my front bumper and not having a spotter, and I don't want to hit the garage, I'm going to be a little off. But what you want to do is you want to park your headlights as close as possible to your flat surface, and then you're going to need 25 feet of level surface so that you can back your Jeep up to do this. So I went ahead and laid out a 25-foot tape measure, so when I back up, I'm going to put my headlights level with the end of that tape measure down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some masking tape, and I am going to make a vertical and horizontal line right here on this spot. Because I have LED headlights, this makes it super easy. So I have my headlights on low beam, and I pulled up as far as I can, and I'm just going to make a cross here in the center for both headlights, so that it should be, that cross should be the same level up and down and side to side as the center of my headlights. All right, so I've got my tape on for both headlights. And you can see that that beam point is pretty dead center on those. And it actually is a fairly straight line across there. When I installed these, I didn't necessarily make a point to make sure that they were level, but you should. So I've got that there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up my 25 feet and we will start adjusting some headlights. You can now see there are my crosshairs. And I also added that middle tape because there are actually two different methods for adjusting your headlights that I have come across. And so this middle tape, to the bottom of this middle tape is 3 foot. And some people will adjust their headlights to where on low beams, the top of their low beam pattern. So this level here is actually down here. And that is because when we drive lifted vehicles, if we just use the general rule of thumb with the 25 feet and there's so many inches drop over a 25-foot span, then we can still be blinding oncoming traffic. So some people will actually drop down to that 3-foot level. No matter how tall their Jeep is, they will just go 3 foot off the ground up to that line. And so the way the crosshairs work is, and I'll just go ahead and explain this while we're back here. So on low beams, which I'm on right now, the top of your light beam should be at or slightly below your horizontal line on your crosshairs. To adjust your vertical, you're going to use the screw that's up in the top. So on your driver's side, it'll be the 2 o'clock position. On your passenger side, it will be the 10 o'clock position. That'll be the one that you adjust for your vertical adjustments. As you can see here, I adjusted my driver's headlight only. So you can see where the top of the beam is in line, and it's actually still slightly above, but in line with this crosshair, whereas my passenger side is still way up here. So to adjust this, to go down, you turn the set screw counterclockwise, and to go up, you adjust clockwise. And here I actually dropped, again, just my driver's side down to the 3 foot mark. So you can see how much of a difference that is between where I was and the 3 foot line. So I think what I am going to do is jump it back up to the bottom side of this crosshair and give that a shot for a while, see how much I still get flashed. If I still get flashed quite a bit, then I will go ahead and bring it all the way down to the 3 foot line. But because that is such a drastic change, and my night vision can be a little funny sometimes, so I want to try and find a happy medium between the two. So I'm going to bring my driver's side back up to this crosshair, and I will put my passenger to the crosshair and see how that looks. So here you can see I've got it adjusted to the bottom of the crosshairs. I'm going to give that a try for a couple weeks. I've got a couple of longer trips that I know I'm going to be driving at night, so I'll see how much I get flashed on those. If I keep getting flashed quite a bit or often enough that I think it's a problem for the other drivers, then I'll drop it down to that 3 foot mark. But otherwise I've got it in line with my crosshairs. And just to show you a difference between the high beam and low beam on these. So this is the low beam and this is the high beam. And I love this because I live in an area with a lot of wildlife, a lot of deer and that kind of stuff. These are the JW Speaker Evolution J2s. And I absolutely love these headlights. They do everything that I need them to, and they are a huge difference. I swapped out the factory headlights for these, but they are definitely worth the little bit higher price tag in my opinion. But I know there's a lot of other brands out there that people love. I know, I do believe it's called Truck Light is another brand that people love. So you'll just have to do your research on headlights if you're wanting to swap out from the factory headlights, or if you need some brighter stuff. I love the LEDs, but again, they can be a bit of a problem because they do appear a ton brighter to other drivers than the factory halogens. So I hope this video helped you guys and answered some questions. Catch you guys on the next one.